And it's just, what do you remember as a kid, right? It's those experiences and it's those little things like building a fort with your dad or your mom, but it's
Right.
not the day to day, Monday to Friday, going to school, waking up. It's those just cool little things you just remember. And I think traveling embodies that. You get those things. You're gonna remember that trip, right? They still
100%.
talk about trips a year or two
Right.
ago, right? They're like, oh, we did this here. It's like, yes, you
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah. Core
So
memories.
those stay in, and a lot of them come from traveling for us, anyways.
Welcome to the Driven Dad Podcast, where we celebrate dads that live with passion and lead with purpose. On this show, we'll host some dads that live incredible lives. Being a dad is the most important job you'll ever have. Get inspired by our amazing guest dads that refuse to live life in mediocrity and live epic lifestyles with their families. All right, Mario, welcome to the Driven Dad Podcast. It's a pleasure to have you here today.
Yeah, thank you. No, thanks for having me.
Yeah. So you just got back not too long ago from a sick snowboard trip.
I did. Yeah.
Where was that?
It was in BC, so we landed in Fernie. We did a couple days there, just resort riding, which we got lucky. Actually, we landed right before a big snowstorm, so we got some nice freshies there the first day, and then the snow kind of continued on. So we got another good day. Then we went up to, where did we go? Nelson, and then we got onto a heli in Caslow, stellar heli. So we did a day of heli there.
That's not the heli operation that the owner just got buried.
It is, unfortunately.
Oh,
yeah.
no way.
So
Wow.
yeah, we were actually we saw Jason at his hotel
No way.
the time we were there.
Oh, wow. Did you guys stay at his hotel?
No, we didn't stay there, but you kind of start there. So
Okay.
you meet there. The morning meetings are there,
Okay.
right at his kind of restaurant at the hotel.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but he was there after the riding. We went there, had a beer, had supper with our guide. All the guys were there. Jason was there with the other groups.
Such a tragedy.
So yeah, it is. Yeah, I've been reading a lot on it. Just Jeff Keenan and
As the avalanche report came out,
not that I saw.
Oh, okay.
No, but
you wonder,
I'm not sure what happened there. It's kind of
Yeah, because 3 ultra experienced riders, right?
for sure, and they were at the waiting area, which is a little odd as well, right?
Okay.
But again, you don't know. There's so many variables. It happened so quick. Was the other group at the top? Was it naturally triggered
Yeah.
or was it human triggered?
Right.
I don't think we'll ever know down here, down east. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's unfortunate. It happens.
What's your take on doing risky things like that, or the snowboard trip you just took? What's your take on that? Like, as a dad, as a person with responsibilities back home, how do you deal with that in your head?
It's a good one. Definitely, it's much harder now to process, right? You're heading out on that heli day, you know the consequences, but you still go just because that's who we are, right? It's kind of what pushes me forward. Like, that's why I do a trip every year. It's just I feel that I need that, right? We grew up riding, we grew up taking all those chances, but it's the adrenaline. It's kind of what moves us forward. But yeah, it's harder. You think about the kids. You think about, I don't know. It just runs through your mind.
Mm-hmm.
So it's harder. But I think if you think what they would want for us, if they knew what moves us forward, they'd be like, take the chance, Dad, go for it.
100%.
Yeah,
I love
so-
that. I love that. You like to travel a lot with your family also?
Yeah, for sure. I think 90% of our travels are with kids, with our family. Yeah.
Where have you traveled lately?
Last year we did Costa Rica. So we went to Costa Rica for 10 days, 2 weeks, I think, close to 2 weeks. So we did Monteverde. So we went up in the mountains, spent some time there in those little towns, and then we went down to Santa Teresa, did some surfing. The kids took some surfing lessons.
Cool.
So it's cool.
Cool.
Then we just did. We went to Texas actually.
Okay.
With a couple families. Went to see the F1 race and
Quite a
just kinda explored.
contrast of lifestyles or
For sure.
of society, I guess, between Texas and
Yeah, Costa
and
Rica. Yeah, no, it was just where we went to Montreal. We saw the race there, and we
Okay.
just wanted to experience another race somewhere else.
Okay.
And Texas, we wanted to visit Texas,
Yeah.
eat their barbecue meat, and so yeah, we went there. It was cool. Texas is amazing.
Cool.
Such a cool city, spot, town to be in. Yeah.
Cool. Any travels coming up with the family?
Yeah, we just booked actually yesterday. We booked some Airbnbs in Portugal.
Okay.
So we're going there for 2.5 weeks in June, right after school finishes. We're gonna land in Lisbon and spend 2.5 weeks traveling and visiting different spots over there.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Why does your family think it's so important to travel? Like what do you guys get out of that as a family?
A lot of things, I think, right? The experience, exposing your kids to different cultures. The thing about traveling too, right? You need to be patient. People are different. Some are mean, some are nice. Just the culture, the things you kind of have to accept when you're traveling, which is not the norm where you're from, right? It's different, but that's life. It's not always comfortable.
Yeah.
So exposing them to that, and exposing them to we want them to travel as they're older, right? So getting them to like traveling is important to us. It's like you should like traveling. It's a big luxury, I think, for humans that we have now with the planes and the easy travel. And
Isn't
I think
it crazy
people
how
should
you
travel.
can be in Moncton at 7 a.m. and then in Portugal at 7 p.m.
Right?
or whatever?
It's crazy. You go to sleep, you wake up in Portugal all the way other across of the world.
It's insane when you think about it.
It is.
Yeah, we take that for granted because it's been, a part of our lives for a while now. But
Totally.
it's insane.
But it wasn't back, even our parents, I don't think, traveled. Even us as kids, we didn't travel much. We did some, but it was like driving to Quebec or going to Sugarloaf, right? But it wasn't, we went down south once.
Yeah.
But now our kids traveled, definitely more than me before I was an adult, right? So,
yeah. Do you find I find this a little challenging. So I feel this, we feel the same way as far as like exposing our kids to traveling, and we love traveling as much as you guys do, but you find it a bit of a struggle to expose them to traveling as much as possible while, getting it through to them that they're really lucky to be able to do this.
Yeah, that's something that it's a challenge, right? To like, are they, sont tu gâtés there?
Yeah.
I don't know are they
spoiled?
Spoiled, there you go.
Yeah.
Our Franglish came out there, but are they spoiled? But I don't think traveling, if you do it right, I think for the right reasons and not just, right, the types of trips that you do, I think is important. But I think it's the deep values that really determine the way a child will be born or will be when they're older. It's not really the things I don't know. It's a tough one for sure. But yes, it's something that we try to make sure they understand that, they're lucky, but we're doing it as a family and for these reasons, which are, we think, the good ones.
Yeah.
So
I think you're right, though. It does come down to the core of the family's values and the things you teach them, not only on that trip or not the things you tell them about that trip, but on a daily basis. What's your family's core values and how you teach your kids to be appreciative of everything in life.
Everything, exactly. It's not just that trip, right?
Yeah.
Buying a bike or buying anything that they want, being small things, could be worse than bringing them on these large trips every year, twice 100%. A year. But then having good values, they're not going to take that for granted. 100%. I don't think.
Yeah. Do you find that the time that you spend with your family and your kids, and specifically when you travel, like, do you feel like it's incredibly valuable? Like just the type of disconnected time that you spend with your family and the type of connections that you make during those travels, probably because we're disconnected from, all of our daily distractions when we're at home, work and social media and all that stuff. But do you find that the connections are just incredible when you're traveling?
100%. And I think that's one of the top reasons why we do it, right? Especially, I'm quite busy. I have a lot on the go, but the reasons I do it's because we can do these experiences, and I think I get a better, more quality time with them when I'm traveling. I can disconnect. I have a hard time disconnecting here. And it's just, what do you remember as a kid, right? It's those experiences, and it's those little things like building a fort with your dad or your mom, but it's not the day-to-day, Monday to Friday, going to school, waking up. It's those just cool little things you just remember. And I think traveling embodies that. You get those things. You're gonna remember that trip, right? They
100%.
still talk about trips a year or two ago, right? They're like, oh, we did this here. It's like, yes,
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah. Core
So
memories.
those stay in, and a lot of them come from traveling for us, anyways.
Do you have like, what's your strategy on like your yearly planning or whatever as far as trips? Is it concrete, like every quarter you guys travel, or is it more like go with the flow? Like we're traveling every year, couple times a year, and we just get it done.
A little bit of both. I think we live there. We will travel and do whatever we can. Kind of. I always said, I want to. It's kind of one of my motivations. I never want to be held back, financially, if you will.
Yep.
So that's why I work a lot. But it also provides me the freedom to say yes to more things. But also, we like to do one big family trip a year, so which is 2 to 3 weeks. And then we'll try to do 1 or 2 smaller, long weekend or 1 week kind of trips. So we have that baseline we like to do. Anything over that is kind of bonus.
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
I love that theory. I have a similar theory, and I might not be at your level of saying yes yet, but I love your theory of not getting held back.
Yeah.
To say no to anything you really want to do.
Right.
And that's a big part of my motivation also on the
Good.
financial side.
I think it's cool. It's a good motivation. I think it's a healthy one. It's one where if you really focus on the yes part, you'll say no to certain financial decisions that will take away from saying yes, right? So you will find that middle ground and be happy with where you're at, which I think you can fall into that trap of always wanting more, which I'm trying to not get there, right? Because one thing you can't get back, which I know you're a big believer in that, is time. Your biggest currency is time, right? So you can make more money, but not enough time to actually spend it. I don't want to go there. So, it's a fine line, but I think it's knowing what you want to do, where you want to go.
Right.
That kind of settles that debate.
Your family's very active. What type of activities do you guys like to do as a family?
As a family together, like we like hiking a lot. So last year went to Sugarloaf and then went to the Shikshuk.
Cool.
We hiked a couple mountains there, went to Mont Carlton, hiked Mont Carlton with the kids.
Amazing.
The hard way too. We went the backside with the rocks with all the kids.
Amazing.
They were climbing the rocks and stuff. It was super cool. So that was a cool experience. But yeah, we love hiking, exploring, mountain biking with Lex, Loan a little bit too.
Okay.
So downhill bike, he loves it. But just even biking around, going on camping trips, just biking, exploring.
What about snowboarding?
Snowboarding, that's true, of course. How did I forget that one? Snowboarding, solo on skis. Lex snowboards. I snowboard. She actually wants to try snowboarding next year.
Oh.
Annabelle even started snowboarding too.
No way.
While she tried it, she loves it. She wants to do it next year.
They're coming from the dark side.
Right?
Nice.
They're transitioning. They actually started on snowboards.
Okay.
Both of them.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then they went to ski.
Okay.
And then now they kind of want to go back to boarding.
Cool. I love it.
Which is awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. And Colin, my wife, she skis too. A bit less because with the kids, right? Right now, she takes a hit for the family and stays at the lodge. But Lodi's going to be able to kind of start skiing next year, hopefully.
That's cool.
So she'll be almost 2 years old.
Okay.
She will be 2 years old. So we'll put her on skis and then get mama on the hill. Yeah.
It's such a cool feeling when the whole family can join you on the slopes.
Oh, it's the best. It's such a fun sport.
Yeah. You got that feeling before me. We just got that feeling this year of having the kids ride beside us.
They're doing good. Frick, they're riding like no leash, right?
Yeah. First time
Amazing.
this year. The pivotal point was getting them a one-on-one session with an instructor.
Okay.
Everyone kept telling me like that's what's going to really make a big difference. But we had the language barrier, right? Like they only speak French. They only understand French. So when we went to Edmundston at Montfalin, there was a couple of French instructors there. Right. So we gave them a lesson, and that day it was insane. It's like 2 different riders.
They listen to them more than they listen to us.
Yeah, exactly. And they know what to tell them, what to work on.
Yeah.
And so from that point on, it just changed.
We
and-
found a French snowboard instructor at Poli. Lex took a course.
Oh, did you? Nice.
Yeah, I
Okay.
forget the lady's name, but
Okay.
yeah, she was awesome. And Lex started doing his S.
Oh, cool.
So he started going
That's
toe
another
side.
big step. Eh?
Yeah, that's the barrier Lex has right now. Like he wants to hit these little jumps and stuff, right? But I'm like, if you're always riding on your heels,
Yeah.
like, how can you level yourself back forward?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you need to be able to kind of go toe and heel,
Exactly.
get yourself straight. So then he's like, okay.
Exactly.
So he took the courses, yeah. But
Okay.
yeah, he helped him quite a bit.
Cool. I find it's such a good family sport.
It is,
a family
yeah.
activity to participate in.
Go out in the cold, you get all cold and go back inside and
Yeah.
have a coffee and go back out, and it's just a
Yeah.
full day thing. You can stay at the lodge hill a whole day, right?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
cool.
It's not only about the riding. It's
No.
just the experience.
Totally.
The whole
There's a
thing is
vibe at the
cool.
lodge. You can go inside. There's music. There's people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
So, kind of touching on that subject, I know snowboarding has been a passion of yours your whole life, and it's brought one of your multiple business ideas. I think is rooted from your snowboard background. Tell us a little bit about that project.
Stoke, I'm assuming
Yeah.
here. Yeah, Stoke Resort. So that 100% started through snowboarding. Spending all this, every weekend, almost every night after school at Poli Mountain, and just that vibe. And then we started looking for a family camp, and it was like, Frank, we should buy something at close to Poli. We'll have the summers there, which is still a camp. There's still woods and trails, and then in the winter we actually have a camp we want to go to in the wintertime. And it was like Poli, yeah, of course. So then we bought the camp and spent a lot of time there. And then we're like, man, this would be so cool if other people could experience what
Right.
we're experiencing here, right? Going
Right.
to Poli and going to this epic lodge and looking at the views and etc. Right, just going to Poli and going to kind of like a big like Stoneham, right? We used to go
Right.
to Stoneham. You ride, you skied in, or you went to your condo on March break, kind of feeling.
Yeah.
And you don't have that at Poli, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we kind of just wanted to create that experience and share what we felt Waterford was for us to other people, and then the land next door came for sale, and that was our opportunity. So
Okay.
jumped on it.
And what has that turned into today exactly?
It's like what
Like the business,
is
like what's the business? What is Stoke Resort?
so Stoke is short term. It's a destination stay so it's luxury cabins. So
Okay.
we have 40 acres of land, and we're perched on like halfway up the hill. We have two larger cabins, and they're luxury cabins with large windows. You can see straight outside. And we're building more cabins all around the land, and we're building trails. So it's kind of a network of trails and cabins and community up right beside Poli. It's like on the backside of Poli. So we're working on connecting a trail to go to Poli, so you
cool.
could kind of hike in Poli, ride back down.
Nice.
And it's actually connecting to the Alpine lift, so you can mountain bike in the summers back down. So it's kind of a year-round experience. So yeah, it's kind of a community. You can spend just time at the resort. There's a bunch of trails there just on the land. So yeah, that's dope.
I've been there, so I can
Yeah.
attest that it's pretty epic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's very unique for the area. You guys are like pioneers a little bit in
Right.
that ski in, ski out type vibe, and
right.
certainly in Poli Mountain there was nothing
Yeah,
close
exactly.
to that. So it's
Right.
really cool.
Yeah,
Really
yeah,
cool.
thanks.
So I know you have like a bunch of projects. Since I've known you, you were one of I'm gonna say the first entrepreneurs of our kind of era. I
Right.
want to say, and you've inspired me actually since the
Right.
start. How many business ventures are you involved in?
Well, the main ones are Lumar Electric, so we electrical contracting.
Okay.
Lebson Holdings, which is a long-term, multifamily holding company. Property management. Nima Construction, which is a framing / project management company, and then Stoke Resort. So those are the main ones. We have branches from there, but
Right.
those are the main ones. As you know, we did a couple others that recently have not worked out, but yeah. So those are the main ones.
Yeah. With your hands in so many things and you trying a bunch of different things, how would you, or what would you say to someone, starting off, or someone thinking about starting off and being scared or backing away from the fear of failure?
I think that fear comes from the unknown, right? You don't really know. Fear is the story you're telling yourself in your head. It's nothing like reality. You can't tell the future. And the only way to find out is to jump in and try it, right? Make a good plan, do your due diligence, check it out, make sure it works, right? But until you really jump in, you won't really know. So I encourage everybody to try it. I had many, many, many failures, right? The ones we talk about right now are the ones that worked, but it's not because I didn't try the other ones, or right. So you have to jump in and try it out. So I encourage everyone to do it. Obviously, make sure you're ready for it. It's a crazy ride, right? The first 10 years is insane. But if you got to want it, then you got to want to like it, right? So, yeah.
So with all those things on your hands, how do you manage, I hate this word, but the work-life balance? So like first of all, managing that many successful companies is a massive undertaking, but also with your family at home. I know you're a very engaged dad on, nights and weekends. How do you manage keeping everyone happy and keeping the businesses successful?
Well, first off, my wife does everything at home.
Good shout out.
She's the CEO of our family. No, so she does, like, without her, nothing would be possible with the family.
Okay.
Hands down, for sure. She takes care of so many things. I rely on her on everything family. I'm the cool, fun dad, right? I get to be that because of her.
Okay.
But, obviously I think we have a good structure, if you will. We're happy with our undertaking. We make it work. It's not easy. We're both super busy. We get stressed out. But I think the efforts we put into both of our different sectors is what makes it work. I can focus on what I'm committed to, and she can focus on what she's committed to.
Right.
And it's nothing pushed on each other. It's really just she wants to do what she's doing, even though it gets stressful sometimes. If she breaks it down, I'm sure that's what she would want to do.
Right.
Which allows me to do what I can do to let her do what she can do. So it just kind of works. But yeah, like I said, as far as the family and the business, without her providing me with the time to deal with the businesses and her dealing with the family, that's definitely a big thing. So
entrepreneur or not, it's important, but even more so when there's an entrepreneur in the household, it's how important would you say it is for the other person to be on board with, the entrepreneur's mission?
Oh, it's huge, right? It's or else I don't think it's going to work. It takes so much time, effort. Sometimes you're there physically, you're not there mentally. You're always thinking. You're always all the issues come to you, right? So you're always thinking, and I think that's what makes a great entrepreneur too, right? It's always when you have a downtime, your brain just goes to like, how can I improve this? I want to do this. I want to do that. Always.
Yeah.
Which goes back to traveling. That's where you can switch that off, right? Yeah. So yeah, they need to be on board and ready, but I think you need to, I think you can't run like that forever, right? You can't be the startup entrepreneur forever. It's not sustainable.
Right.
But you need to be able to, or you need to be willing to do it for 3 to 5 years. Like insane. That's why start now. Start while you're young. And then when you get kids and a family, hopefully you have it structured the way you want it to run.
Right.
And then hopefully you can hire staff that, helps you grow and helps you kind of get back your time, right? Buy back your time, like Dan says. And it's a strong saying. Shout out to Dan. It's friggin' brilliant. It's true. Right, buy it back, and it's not even just buying back your time, but if you do it right, you're buying more business too. If you hire right.
Yeah. How important would you say that it is for you to be passionate about what you're doing in your businesses? Would you be able to have a business that, you know, do you do it all for money, or do you do it because you're really passionate about the industry that you're in, about the service or the product that you're selling?
That's a good one. I think it all came from passion, number one, right? Lumar's motto was built on passion at start. And I think it grew out of that, and it grew into more. I think the real thing is the family and the community that we've built that we're working with, right? Like going into work with Lumar and our friends and family now, it's so much fun that we can create anything we want within that industry that we know. And that obviously we fell in love with. That's why we're all electricians, right? But now it's like we're business owners or managers that can build something, right? And we're building new divisions or creating new, new positions for people, raises, more, more money. They can create their family. They're having kids.
Right.
We have pensions, and you know what I mean? So it's more about what we're building. That's what motivates us right now. It's like, man, look at this. It's awesome. It's so much fun. We're freaking just building this big freaking thing together. And we're all friends. We go to work. We're happy. We laugh. We do events. We do golf events. We do all sorts of events with our friends.
That's cool.
So
I think you're part of that kind of new age style company. Like I can think of a few local ones like Greenfoot and you guys, which focus a lot on company culture and making it a fun place to work. I think maybe in the old school days, it was more about, who can pay the most
for sure,
and maybe the best benefits or whatever. But now people focus, and you could attest to that more than me, but I think people focus more on being happy going to work. They put more importance on that, right?
Totally. Culture is, once we started focusing on culture and not buying people, wanting people to stay and come over, it changed our whole business. Like people now just come over to Lumar just because they want to work here. It's like, I guess awesome. It's so cool here. I just want to work here, and they just leave their job and come to Lumar.
That must be the biggest validation ever, right?
People who quit, went to another place, came right back. It's like, nice. We did it.
Exactly.
We did it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's cool.
So cool. That's so cool. How many employees do you guys have now?
Close to 110 roughly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just Lumar, and then the others we have other,
Okay. And Lumar, the spectrum of work, you guys do more commercial or residential or both?
70% commercial, but I think, commercial are they're larger projects, so you have more guys on a project. But so 70% commercial, and then 30-40% service resi, and then 60-70% commercial.
Okay.
Yeah, so multi-units, service calls, anything, right? Renos.
Okay.
Then we have a smart space division, which is all like door access, cameras, all that stuff, which is a new division, like we talked about.
Is that booming right now?
Big time, yeah. So we just kind of promote that service to all of our existing clients, and they're like, oh, well, yeah, instead of using him and getting you to run the wire and then going back to him, and so we're just like, yeah, you do it. So then it just kind of took off. So one guy knew this from back out west, and he came here, and we gave him, so now he's running 2 or 3 guys, and he's doing his own thing.
Wow.
Which is a new division. So yeah, it's cool.
Huh. It's insane where the homes are going now, like with that type of technology.
For sure. Yeah, big time.
How did you get into real estate investing, like day one? How did that happen?
So, that started way back. We had this opportunity to buy a chunk of units, 44 units in Shediac.
Okay.
And they were financing us and etc. So we just jumped in without really knowing anything about it. And then we bought a self-storage with the same group. But again, not knowing anything about it, but kind of I wanted to own buildings and
just
super eager. So said,
let's go,
jump in, do it, and learned the hard way. It was tough. It went through some very hard times with those purchases. 2013 maybe.
Okay.
13, 14.
Okay.
So then we sold that. Again, sold it for nothing. We didn't really know what we were owning. We didn't know. It was a unique transaction, and the other guy who bought us out was our buddy. He still is. Great guy. He's doing wonderful. But it was one of those things, and it's probably one of the biggest lessons that I've learned is I didn't know what I was owning. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know the value of it, right? So kind of learned to understand any market that you're jumping into. But that kind of got me to say like, okay, I need to learn this real estate thing, how to get a deal going from the ground up. So took the money from the sale and then just opened up Lepson Holdings, built our first 14 units, second, then that kind of came from there. And just kind of, I had to understand it. So I had to learn it myself. So kind of just went through all the hoops and understood that creating, good cash flowing properties, which the other ones weren't.
Right.
So just focused on that. And so that's kind of how we started on multifamily.
And you guys are still expanding your portfolio to this day?
Yep.
Everything you guys own, you guys build it primarily?
Yes, exactly. We don't really build for anybody else, like even with Nima or whatever. We mostly just build the stuff that we own. So we don't go and just general contract a building for somebody else. We'll if we're an owner in it, then that's the deal. We build it.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a question I like to ask real estate investors because it really, I find that everyone has a different answer and it really intrigues me. But what's your goal with your real estate investment? What's the ultimate exit plan? Or like in the end, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, whatever, is it a legacy thing to get to a certain number and, I don't know, give it to your family? Or is it a financial number that will allow you to, accomplish things that you want to do in your life afterwards?
I think it's like building a company, right? So it's like, why are you growing Lumar? Well, because if you stop growing, you die. Same thing with real estate. Why am I growing the portfolio? Because that's a service I sell. I'm growing the company. Exit strategy, I don't really have one. Obviously, it's something where you can sell. People buy real estate. People start buying construction companies now. You see that quite a bit more. So, okay, maybe. But, it's more to just, just to kind of, I like growing companies. It's fun. It's interesting. I'm young. I can do it. I have the opportunity to do it. And kind of setting up maybe I have an opportunity to set up my family with, generational wealth if I keep going, right? I just feel like I don't want to miss that opportunity if I have it in front of me.
Right.
So it kind of just motivates me to keep going. But I just want good cash flowing. I like just the business model of real estate. It's just beautiful. Every month, cash comes in.
Nothing cooler than a passive investment.
Yeah, it's great. So you have the operational one and then passive. So it's kind of a mix of both.
Right.
So we just going to keep investing and growing. And
yeah. Is there a model that you prefer, like between an active business and a passive one like that?
I like both together. It's a great,
right.
There's like, I wouldn't just do well, maybe, but I like to think that
not right now.
Not right now, maybe later, but I like both. I like the operation, right, with staff and day-to-day challenges or whatever. Real estate is, you kind of have this project, the vision, the plan, and then you build it, and then you go back and like, yeah, I built that. That's cool. That's cool. Satisfaction.
That is cool.
So yeah, it's
Do you see yourself as someone that will retire like a conventional person?
No.
You're gonna keep going with something.
For sure. I don't believe in retirement. I think just retirement is a word of having your time back. And I think it's not even something that stops me right now of wanting more time. I think I love what I do. So obviously I'm going to want to stop having so much stuff coming at me, but to stop, I always want something to work on, hopefully with my kids and, projects and something that's fun.
Right.
But, yeah.
Wouldn't it be cool to have a business or to help your kid start a business?
Totally.
Would be awesome. I think about that sometimes.
For sure.
I can't wait to see what he's into.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Into. Grow up now. Actually, don't.
No, I know.
Don't grow up.
It's a struggle between both, eh?
Yeah.
Like, I find that this is a personal thing, but until a certain age, like, I'm cool with them being over that hump.
Yeah.
Like, until, I don't know, 3.5, it's, you know, those days are awesome, great memories when I look at the pictures, but I'm cool with them being past
Right.
past that age.
That age, yeah.
But at a certain point, you're like, you know, it's awesome right now. There's no reason why I want time to go faster. You know,
Totally.
we're doing all the cool things together now.
Yeah.
I'm not just dragging you along. You're coming biking with me, coming
Right.
snowboarding with
It's
me.
amazing.
So cool.
Yeah,
So
totally.
cool.
It's time is going to pass fast enough. You don't really want to wish it to go faster.
100%. 100%. Yeah. What would you tell yourself, you know, 10, 12 years ago, before being a dad, before accomplishing all your, you know, business successes that you've had? What would you tell yourself then?
Like now, what would I tell myself?
Yeah, exactly.
Keep going. It's going to be worth it.
Yeah. Would you shoot down any of your main concerns that you had back
Totally.
then?
Yeah, for sure. I would try to. You always think, is it worth it? Like, I'm doing all this for nothing. I'm like, you know, some years we paid to work, right? Who goes to work who pays to go to work?
Right.
You know, but when you have bad years, you pay to work. If you break it down, it's like, is this worth it? What the hell am I doing? But it's like, no, we got something here.
Yeah.
It's gonna work. It has to. Look at it. And when you can picture it, it's just like, stop worrying about it. Keep moving. So yeah, for sure, that would be probably the number one thing. Just shoot it down.
What about on the parenting side? Is there anything that you remember being concerned about or being worried about, even like before having your kids? Or
The time with the business, right? I think it's like, holy where am I gonna find the time? And I don't want to be that dad. I don't want to be, you know, not present. Or I always wanted one parent to be home, because when I grew up, my dad was a firefighter, so he was home 3 days every 4 days. Well, it was a one day, 1 on, 3 off, or whatever.
Okay.
So he was there often. We were home. We had friends over. So I always said I want one of the parents to stay home with the kids while they're young.
Right.
I know it wasn't me.
Right.
So I was hoping to, you know, be successful enough to let the wife stay home and just kind of help me with the business a little bit, right? Like she does right now. So, and then, you know, it worked out, right? So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. That is amazing when you have the opportunity to allow one of the two parents to stay at home. If that person is passionate about that,
and they want to, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know,
because it's a hard job. Like, not everyone can do that.
Jeez, I couldn't.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's your own kids. It's like almost harder, because it's,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Every day. So yeah, it's like I couldn't do it, and I'm so glad she can do it. And
Man,
props to her. Jeez.
wave my hat.
Hats off.
Yeah.
To all stay-at-home moms.
We took the
They don't not work.
Oh,
They work harder than everybody else.
when you get home and they're drinking wine, you know why.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, enjoy that wine. I get it.
Yeah.
Or we think we get it.
Yeah. We decided to take the kids out of daycare when they started school.
Right. Yeah.
Because Renee's a nurse, so she's off, 4 on, 5 off on a regular basis. And I'm flexible. But as other parents warned us, there's a lot of like random days off of school.
Right.
Like this
true.
week there was Monday. Snowstorms, whatever you want to call it.
Slush storm.
Yeah, slush storm, like 2 centimeters on the ground. And then Friday there's a whatever you call them,
school,
cap day or whatever, no school. So those days, like, the kids are really good. I can't complain, but at the same time, like, it's one of those things that you'll go through as an entrepreneur where like you need to perform no matter what. No matter what the scenario is personally, there's some deliverables that need to be done. So you're going to go through those struggles of like, you don't want to be an asshole dad.
Yep.
You want to, be there and be present and answer the 1,244 dads in one day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I find it's definitely challenging to balance like the showing up, being present, but delivering on
Totally.
on the professional side.
100%. Totally. And But it's kind of what we signed up for too, right?
We can't complain.
We can't complain,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If being an entrepreneur, I think if you've done it right, gives you the chance to be home for that no school Friday, and it's kind of cool.
I agree.
But
I agree.
I get it. It's not easy
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Let's talk fitness.
Yeah.
Any goals that you're signed up for right now or that you're working towards?
No, I usually try to do one kind of challenge, as you know me, these
Yeah.
random challenge that I don't train for and I get hurt.
Not recommended.
No, not recommended. Don't do this at home, kids. But so I'll do. I don't know. I'll find something this summer to do
Okay.
some kind of race or something with Idic probably.
Yeah. Send me a message. I might do.
Yeah. All right. Good. A lot of people are like, I want to do that next year. I'm like, okay, you sure?
Yeah, sure.
I'll let you know 2 weeks in advance, and then you have to do a 56-kilometer ultra.
Classic.
Yeah. But no, right now I'm just I'm just doing like strength training at peak, and jiu-jitsu is what I'm trying to focus on. Trying to just being consistent there. I love it.
You're into jiu-jitsu right now?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
That's fun.
What got you into that initially?
Adam Westfield.
Okay. Yeah.
Just saw him, and I think he's the first one who brought me there. But I always wanted to do a martial arts, but never did it as a kid. We always just wrestled as friends.
Okay.
And but yeah, so when I saw the gym was there and Mike Thibodeau too, he was going. So yeah, but I think just kind of intrigued.
Do you do it? Like, is the motivation more so behind the self-defense side of things, like just having that life skill, or is it like entirely a fitness thing?
Both, I think. I love the self-defense part of it, right? And just definitely self-defense is cool, especially with a family,
Right.
traveling.
I've never tried it yet. We were talking about this earlier, so obviously I'll have to try it now. But
You should.
yeah, I'm gonna commit to it there.
Yeah, you should.
But I'm curious. Like, do you actually feel like you have some useful tools? We're gonna call it on the streets. Like,
I mean,
something
a
that you
street
feel
fight
good.
is always unknown, right? It's like the guy just who knows what can happen, but I
Right.
think it can't hurt to know how to choke someone out
Right.
and how to wrestle and how to take someone down properly with technique. Because you start jiu-jitsu, you go there with no technique and you have no chance, like zero. You tap nobody out. You just get like these techniques take over, and you're using all of the force you would use in a street fight
Right.
at the gym, and you have no chance, zero chance.
Right.
4 years later, you have a chance, and you're controlling some opponents and you're tapping out some opponents, and you're a problem in the gym. It's like, oh, it works. It has to, right?
Right.
If you
right.
compare, it has to work.
Right.
It's hard to see it as you kind of go
Okay.
because everybody evolves with you. But you look at where you were and where you're at, you're like, okay, no, I have to be a little bit better.
Right.
So it can't hurt
Right.
to have those skills, which is kind of cool. You're training and you're gaining skills
Yeah.
at the same time. You're not just training to lift more weight. Like, I can lift 50 pounds now. Oh,
Which is-
cool.
yeah.
Great. It's
Yeah.
awesome. You're fitter, and that's awesome. But this way, you're like, I know how to do this.
I gotta say, you're selling it pretty well. I'm intrigued.
I gotcha.
I'm intrigued. Yeah. You hooked me there.
Good. Come on down.
I'll be there tomorrow.
Yes.
Is it something that you'd pass on to your kids? Like, is it something that you think would be a great skill for them to have?
For sure. Lex, actually, my son, he's in judo right now.
Oh, cool.
So he goes to judo twice a week, and he loves it. So I give him, I have mats at home, so we play around on the mats with him. I show him arm bars and how to choke someone from the back and stuff like that.
Man,
But it's like,
tell me a story like that. It makes me so happy. Like, I can just imagine myself doing that with my kids. Stuff like that
it's amazing.
it's cool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And then you see him like in judo. I don't know judo at all. Some techniques from the ground relates to jiu-jitsu, but it's cool to see him just kind of progress in his own way.
Right.
And then using the jiu-jitsu, like just the way he distributes his weights when he's on the ground. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, he remembers that.
Right.
Yeah. So it's cool.
Do you think your kids seeing you and I'm not really sure what your wife does as far as her fitness, but do you think when your kids watch you guys being active, does that have an influence on, the way they live their life
Yeah.
and the things that they want to do interest wise?
I think so, right? I think they see and watch everything you do, right? They repeat what you say, especially looking at Lydia right now. She's 18 months and she notices everything, right? Because you kind of notice the first words that come out of their mouth, or
Yeah.
so it's like, yeah, they're listening, they're seeing. So I think so. I think it has an impact, being fit, and they see it. They want to be like you, right?
Right.
Especially for the first part of their life. They just,
Right.
you're their role model. They just want to be you.
So Lex is into judo,
Yep.
snowboarding,
Yep.
and what is Loan into?
Luan is in the ringette right now.
Okay.
Yeah, she's all in there. So she
She
was
loves it.
doing cheerleading before, and then she went all in
Okay.
the ringette.
Cool.
So yeah, she's doing spring right now, and yeah, she loves it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Isn't it cool when your kids like fall in love with something, like when they find a passion?
Totally.
I couldn't support them more. Like, take
Yeah.
all my money, take all my
100%.
time.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Totally.
Let's
It's
go
cool.
to Fredericton. Let's go to
Yeah.
anywheres.
Everywhere's.
Yeah.
But it's cool. They witness, failures, and they witness wins, and they go through it as a team, and they have teammates and challenges, and they want to get better. They see somebody better than them. The only way to get better than them is to work on yourself, and it's sports just teaches you so many things.
Yeah.
Everything almost.
Even when you get older, I feel like it can direct you, like in your professional life, like in a certain direction, right? Like I feel like snowboarding might have done that for you in certain aspects. Well, like we've talked about Stoke Resorts,
Yep,
right?
totally.
That kind of came from there. And for me, CrossFit, when I found CrossFit,
Right, that's right.
I fell in love with it personally, and then started a gym after that. Yeah,
Totally.
which debatably that's another subject, but
Yeah,
you have to be careful to not mix stuff you love personally and then
There's the
mix a
balance, I
business
think.
in there. Sometimes can go both ways, but
You still need to look at it on the business, with the business eye, and say, does this make sense, right? Is it something
yeah,
you don't want to lose passion of something you have big passion for, because it becomes a job, and it's a stress, right? Then you lose
100%.
passion for it. So
yeah, no, I agree 100%. Mario, thanks for being a dedicated dad. Your story's inspiring. Like I said before, you've been one of my kind of the people that have inspired me locally on a business
Good to
front
hear.
and on the dad front.
Cool.
Is there anything that you would like to say to future dads, present dads, any piece of advice that you kind of live for?
Enjoy the moment. I think it goes by so fast. We're lucky to be able to call ourselves or get called dad. So yeah, I think it's cool. Enjoy the moment for sure.
100%. Thanks a lot, Mario.
No, thank you, Matt. Thanks for having me.